Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Bajan and this is SoCal Expeditions. If you haven't already, I recommend you thumbs up this video and hit that red subscribe button. That way you can stay up to date with all the new mods that are going to be happening to the new truck that's sitting right next to me, and I'll show you guys in just a second. If you guys haven't seen the previous video where I take the new truck through Afton Canyon doing the Mojave crossing, I recommend you go check out that video, then bounce straight back. That way you have an idea what the truck already is and you get to see the entire build plan for this, and I talk about why I switched from my old truck. It's going to be an interesting video, so stay tuned and let's get into this little B-roll of what the new truck looks like. Alright, so there it is. You've seen that I purchased a 2019 Toyota Tacoma TRD Offroad Access Cab in Cavalry Blue. It took me a really long time to find this truck. I actually had to fly out to Arizona as I live in California. I flew over there, picked it up, and drove it all the way back home. And I've been loving it every day. Let's go from the front and let's go all the way back and see what's new about these 2019 Tacomas. I do really like the front of 3rd gen Tacomas. I think that the headlights look really mean, and these even have a daytime running light strip in them that looks really pretty at night. But we're gonna be swapping out the projectors in these for some Morimoto projectors off the retrofitsource.com. Then the 3rd gen bumper is really pretty, but one thing that I don't like about it is how low this little chin part comes. So I just saw that Southern Style Offroad is releasing a hybrid tube bumper that looks like it's gonna cut right about here and down the side, and that's the bumper that I'll be going with in the future. The 2019 Toyota Tacoma TRD Off-Road grille is actually really nice. I do like how the sensor is hidden behind that Toyota emblem in front, but we're going to be swapping this out for a TRD Pro grille just because we want to get that sensor to sit a little bit lower once we get the truck all lifted up. The OEM fog lights are pretty weak on this truck, and they will be getting swapped out for some Baja designs very quickly. This truck came with 275/70 KO2s in an E-load that are wrapped around 17x7 TRD Pro OEM 4Runner rims. I'm not the biggest fan of this tire package as I don't like KO2s, so I'll be switching them out immediately for 35-inch tires, which you will see in the next video. Now that means there's nothing wrong with KO2 tires, I'm just not the biggest fan of them. I've had a couple sets before, and in my experience, I think that there's better tires out there for the money. The new tires I'm going to be trying are 35 inches, and they measure a lot higher than these 275/70 KO2s, which are the equivalent to around a 32-inch tire. So we're going to be gaining a lot of clearance going up to a bigger tire size, and we've already started doing some preparation to be ready to throw on 35s. Let's take a look at the preparation we've done. When fitting that 35-inch tire, or even a 33-inch tire, a cab mount chop is going to be something that's almost a necessity. You can see here we're looking behind the passenger side, and you can see that cab mount chop has already been cut, and there's a lot more room for clearance. Another thing that you can see is that I've already smashed in my pinch weld and covered it all in silicone. I think it's very important to cover it in silicone so you don't get any rainwater or water from off-roading inside the cab. Having the access cab allows me to have the 6-foot bed and the shorter wheelbase configuration. It really is a small truck. Compared to my old double cab long bed that had a front bumper and a swing out rear bumper, this feels like I'm driving a little SUV. I think sliders are one of the first mods that people should do if they plan on taking their rig off-road. This truck has a custom set of sliders that I had made for it by a buddy out in Lomita, California. If you're in Southern California, you should definitely give me a PM if you're interested in getting a set of sliders, and I'll get you all hooked up. The paint that was used for these sliders are Rust-Oleum bedliner paint. This is perfect because it stands up to abuse really well and it has a textured surface for your shoes to grip on. This is their TRD 4x4 Offroad. I really do like these side bed logos, and I think that they look much better than what was offered in the previous years. Taking a look at the rear of this truck, you can see that it was offered with one of the ugliest chrome bumpers available. I think that they should have offered it with a black or color match bumper, but for some reason this TRD Offroad received just this chrome bumper. I'll be changing it out for a brute force fab high clearance bumper with no swing out this time. I don't want to have any weight over or towards the end of the truck that's past the axle. So I'm going to say this really nicely because I feel like a lot of people are going to get offended or that I'm making fun of swing outs, but I've had 2 swing outs before, and every time I put a swing out on a truck and put all that weight behind the rear axle is when I start bogging around on the freeway, or I'm hitting whoops and my back end is literally flying up and down. There's a reason that a lot of trucks, especially race trucks, don't have a rear bumper and then a swing out. Instead, they have it built over the rear axle or really close to the rear axle, but a swing out pushes that tire and those fuel cans and everything so far past the rear axle that you're going to be jumping around. So on this truck, there is no way that I'm going with a swing out. I'm going to keep it just a high clearance rear bumper. That's all you need. You can fit a 35-inch spare in the bed, and you can put your fuel cans or your little fold down table somewhere else. Here's a look at the taillights. The 3rd gen taillights look really nice in comparison to the old 2nd gen taillights. I know they changed it from the 2nd gen to 2.5 model, but this looks better than all of them. The back tailgate looks amazing. I love the Tacoma lettering. I love how the person already got in the letters and filled them in. And I think they look really good with the little black vinyl on top of it. Look at this. I love this part. It's an assisted tailgate, so it doesn't slam straight on the ground like the 2nd gens, and I've never had a working rear camera before, so this is a moment of happiness for me. This rear bumper, we have the trailer, hitch, plug-ins, everything. You got your license plate lights, 2 of them. I didn't have that on my old truck, so it's nice to have those lights again, and I kept my Expo ASF, because I can't say that word. But I kept this license plate because this truck will look all Expo one day in the future, just not quite yet. So that's pretty much it for the exterior of this truck. So we're going to be doing our front suspension, our rear suspension. Don't forget, you also want to gusset things while you're doing them. So I'm going to do spindle gussets, I'm going to do cam tab gussets, no coil bucket gussets this time around. I don't think we'll need it, but we will do some Total Chaos bed stiffeners for the rear, and I'm going to take a look at boxing the frame just because we're going to have a heavy camper going on in the future. So I'm going to take a look at boxing the frame on a 3rd gen, see if it's necessary, or I think these are C-channel frames, so if that's strong enough to hold a 350-pound camper, then we might be okay. Taking a look at the inside of the truck, it is actually pretty spacious for an access cab. I don't think any full-size adults are going to want to sit in these back seats, but that's kind of the reason I bought it. I definitely don't think the back seats of these trucks are adequate for carrying a full-size adult, but if you're carrying someone, let's say anywhere from 5 foot to 5'5", and hopefully around the 100 to 140 pound range, I think they would fit just fine. At 5'10" and 150 pounds, it is kind of hard for my legs to fit in here. They do fit, and I could definitely go for anywhere around an hour in the back here, but after that I would start to get pretty tired. Folding the seats up and folding the headrest down is really simple as well. The back seats offer some more storage in these storage boxes. They also offer this little center section, which is nice because you can easily reach back from the driver's seat or passenger seat and put something in this little cup holder in the middle. I'm a big fan of the 3rd gen interior. Coming from a 2006, everything in this truck feels new to me and is really nice to touch. Starting off, the leather steering wheel is something that you're constantly touching and it feels really good. However, the buttons have me a little confused. The plus volume button I think belongs on the top, as well as the lower volume should be on the bottom, and then the forward and back songs should be in the middle. However, Toyota messed this up, so when I sometimes go to change the volume, I accidentally change 8 songs forward. The buttons on the right side of the steering wheel are really good for navigating the menu, and I've had no issues with them. I enjoy the return to home button and having the radar cruise control, and the lane assist is really nice. Let's go ahead and start up the truck. The one thing that shocked me coming from an old truck was how good the menus are in this truck. You can see your average miles per gallon, which I've never been able to see. You can see time until rest, which is a really cool feature if you drive long distances. Your compass directions, your music choice, your roll and pitch angles, your cruise control radar distance, and your tire pressure. And if you have any caution or alerts that you need to look at, it will be located right here. I'm a firm believer that having all these different electronics up here are actually really nice. I learned that to turn off the traction control and the VSC stability, everything off 100%, you need to hold this down. And if you don't, you might get some serious issues, especially if you go play in the dunes. So make sure you hold that button down and turn everything off. Having a rear diff lock is very important, and I never had one before in a 4x4 truck, so having this is new to me, and I'm excited to use it more. The crawl control is just a very nice feature that does help you out, and I used it to get myself unstuck a few times already. The head unit in this truck is really nice. I love all these different options, and I've never had a truck that offers navigation with it too, and that is something that's new to me. One thing that I have noticed is if you plug in your phone with the front USB cable and you use Bluetooth for your audio, you might have a couple issues with it wanting to sync through the USB cable and Bluetooth. I still haven't figured out a way around that. Sometimes when it does get stuck, I'll just unplug the USB cable and I'll plug it back in, and it usually fixes it. So I've gotten a lot of questions already about the phone mount that I'm using, and it's a SCO phone mount. It's a little magnet phone mount. I have the magnets in the back of my case, and it just sticks on there, and it's perfect. When I'm driving, I can see perfect eye level, not a problem. I'm a big fan of this phone mount. The link for it is going to be in the description. I highly recommend you pick one up, and it does work perfect with these Toyota Tacomas. You just stick it on back there and you're good to go. On this little placemat right here, it's actually a wireless charger. So you'll click on this button, you'll throw down your phone, and it'll start charging it wirelessly. I have noticed that my phone does get really hot when I'm charging it wirelessly, and it doesn't work with the magnets in the case. So I don't use that. Instead, I just put my little sunglasses holder there, and there's my lens cap. One of the pointless things they did is putting this square cup holder right here, and I have found no purpose for it yet. I just throw all my random stuff in there, and then there's another small cup holder here, as well as two more small cup holders in the back. So I think that they could have designed the cup holder situation better to fit a hydro flask or something, but instead you just have this really small cup holder that doesn't fit much, and this useless square cup holder in front. In my second gen, I never used the rear window, but since I've had this Axis cab, it is very easy for me to be sitting in the driver's seat, turn around, and open up that rear window and have the airflow go through the front windows, out the rear. It's really nice, and I think that more people should definitely look into Axis cabs, especially if you're traveling solo or with just one other person. So thank you guys for tuning in, watching this video. If you're interested in any of the parts I'm going to be ordering for this truck, they're all going to be in the description of this video, along with all the camera gear and filming stuff that I use. I think the third gen is a great platform. Can't wait to see how it stacks up to my old 2006. This truck is going to come alive once those gears and suspension go on. So please like this video, hit that red subscribe button to stay up to date. You can follow my Instagram, which is going to be right below in the description of this video. And we will see you in the next video where we cover what kind of tires we're going to throw on this truck to replace these KO2s. So until then, peace out, stay safe with everything going on, stay at your home, stay isolated, and practice some going outside things, but stay alone and stay away from others. Peace out, guys.